300 Point Infinity Battle Report by Santa Barbara Wargaming. My name is Michael and I'll be playing Aleph today. I'll be going up against Mark's Ariadna. We'll be using the YAMS objective system, and I'm looking forward to kicking this one off. I was able to roll up first turn, so I've got my army deployed. For the 300 points of Aleph, I will have back over here Achilles, ready to roll. I'm using this to represent one of my net rods. I have a post-human Mark 1 hacker. I've got a Deva functionary. She's got a multispectral visor level 2 as well as a Spitfire. Makes sense. Over here I've got a Myrmidon lieutenant. Here I have a regular Myrmidon with a chain rifle. Here I have my Asura, multispectral visor level 3 and Spitfire. Moving over here I've got a cheap repeater as well as another net rod to help keep my orders up.
Okay, so I'm playing Ariadna, 300 points, as Michael was saying, basically just coming all the way across. I've got two different groups. One group has the Cameronian, another Cameronian over here. We've got a Oregon Mule, I guess is the Oregon is the weapon system it's loaded out with. I've got the Dozer Engineer over there. I've got a Mormare, a Wolver, and I actually have my deploy after the fact model, which I guess I haven't deployed yet. I'll take care of that very soon. And then the second group is just a little three-man group with William Wallace, chain rifle volunteer, and grenade launcher volunteer. So that's it. Oh, and then I have two camo markers.
So for the Aleph top of turn 1, it was all things considered a good turn. I was able to, under the cover of smoke, have my Asura stick her head out here, start spraying away at the Caledonian sniper who was there on the top of that building.
You notice he was there.
He was there. A couple of rounds of fire, was able to score a crit, dispatch that guy with smoke and cover, didn't have to worry too much about return fire. I then had the Asura cross over and was able to get a bead on his lieutenant who was hanging out around that white building there just around the corner.
Again, was there.
Same thing, under cover of smoke, a couple of volleys, was able to do some damage despite the heavy armor and the big range penalties there. Having ballistic skill 14 and the high volume of fire from the Spitfire is great. Makes crits a likely event if you invest enough orders in order to get them. Achilles over on the right pushed up aggressively looking towards these troops here. Very intelligently Mark threw a smoke grenade and ARO, making them less of a viable target at range. There was a camo marker here, so I had Achilles draw out a shooting ARO from there instead. He survived the fire because he's super tanky and was able to shoot back and finish this model off. Mark's now in a loss of lieutenant situation, and we'll see what he's able to do with it.
So, bottom of round 1, as Michael said previously, I was in loss of lieutenant. I had to nominate a new lieutenant, which I did with the 2 orders. I had to move back towards my deployment zone. A lot of my non-impetuous troops. Thankfully, I don't have a lot of non-impetuous troops in the group that the lieutenant was in. My impetuous ordered guys, they moved back and then they moved up. And basically, I'm just waiting to resume trying not to die until I could either close with Michael or be able to do a little shooting of my own.
So this was a good turn for Aleph, the top of turn 2. We had William Wallace and his link team advancing under cover of smoke grenades. Thankfully the Asura with her multispectral visor level 3 doesn't care about such things. I gave her some smoke cover and set her up here. Had to send a bunch of shots downrange. Mark rolled well for his armor save, so I had to burn like 6 or 7 orders.
Yeah, that was a lot.
In order to take down William Wallace, but eventually was able to do so. At Achilles, over here on this side, he pokes his head out with the last order to send some shots at the link team. Good armor saves again, and no luck taking them down. But William Wallace was their lieutenant, so they might be having a hard time this up-and-coming turn. Overall, though, fairly productive for Aleph.
Okay, so bottom of turn 2, pretty not the best turn. Not the most productive turn for the Caledonians. My Cameronian, basically I burnt the majority of the orders to get him up here, dropping one smoke to keep myself screened from Achilles. Eventually, when he got here, he was able to get shot by Achilles. He continued to spend a few more orders, and eventually he got in the backfield here, and I was able to throw a few chain rifle shots. This way, I did a wound to one of the Devas, and I killed one of the net rods, so that it'll reduce his order pool a little bit. Aside from that, not a lot happened. The William Wallace group basically retreated, got ARO'd, just got kind of shot up, and then I had a camo marker move over here. That's pretty much it. So yeah, we'll see if the Caledonians can rally at all.
This is Aleph, the top of 3. We're going to go ahead and call the game. I had some good moves with my Ashura. She came over, took out one of the camoed SAS, who I believe was another newly nominated lieutenant,
yeah.
Correct?
Yeah.
And so because he's going to be in retreat, we figured we might as well just call it. Overall, I think it was a good game that exemplifies a lot of Aleph's highlights. The multispectral visors and the durability really allow for some dominant fire lanes, some good aggressive moves. I was pleased with both the performance of the Asura as well as Achilles, and felt pretty good about potentially accomplishing objectives too. I had a post-human Mark II who was stealthed in this building here, which would have let me definitely fulfill the assess yams, about 75% of the opponent's force. Probably also get forward target, which is sabotage a midline building using willpower check. With her willpower 15, that probably wouldn't have been too tough. Then my last objective was advance, which was to get 3 of my models across the halfway line. The Asura's already pretty much there, as well as Achilles. Expose the post-human Mark II, and she probably could have gotten there. My other objective was intimidation, which was kill one of Mark's models within line of sight of the civilian. The civilian is here. William Wallace died just a stone's throw away. So that objective was fulfilled also, so it was 4 of 4 for my objectives, or potentially could have been 4 of 4 for my objectives. So,
I wasn't really able to fulfill any of my objectives. They were all about getting over the center line or about killing models, and so the reason why I threw it in is because, you know, I lost lieutenant, and then I lost a nominated lieutenant, and then I lost a nominated lieutenant, so it was just one lieutenant being lost over and over and over, and so I was basically in total retreat. I lost about half my guys. It's very similar to our last game that we had. You kept picking off lieutenants, and I kept trying to nominate them, and I just, you know, Aleph is, they're tough. They're tough. I'm still, I'm confident that I'll be able to find your number. It's going to take a lot more gaming on my part with Michael. So, I mean, what could be better? So, from all of us here at Santa Barbara Wargaming, may you roll poorly.